Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A key agreement could change the course of a long-standing conflict. More on this developing story straight ahead. And the government shutdown continues after a key bill is rejected. What this means for you, that's coming up. Plus, federal forces arrive despite strong local opposition. Tensions escalate as leaders clash.
And for your Thursday, we've been talking about it all week long. A very weak cool front will be passing through today, bringing us some lovely afternoon humidity, but more importantly, some beautiful cool mornings. All that weather coming up.
And Victoria East plays tonight versus St. Antonio MacArthur in district play. We'll preview this game later on. Sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Thursday morning. I was just telling Parker that I've been seeing a lot of tamales at the grocery store. I think it's tamale season.
Tamale season. Well, maybe it is tamale season because it's still kind of hot out there. It doesn't feel like fall just yet.
We're just all wrapped up in the masa.
That's right. And for your Tamale Thursday, well, we're starting out the day feeling warm like a tamale. The cool front is not here yet. And you're probably like, Parker, what front? There's no front out there right now. It's 72 degrees in Victoria for the air temperature. Dew point is still 2 degrees off at 70, bringing us that high 93% humidity, which would sometimes be enough to see fog, but don't worry about that this morning because we have a north wind. We'll look at that in a second. Because again, you're probably like, Parker, what front? It's still warm out there. 70s all across the Crossroads this morning. We were originally sitting at 80 degrees in Seadrift earlier. You can see you dropped to 79, but if we zoom out, look at the big picture of the rest of Texas. Here's the front. You can see they're in the 60s and the upper 50s in the Panhandle right now. And with north winds among us right now, starting to pick up a little bit, especially near Houston. Gusts are up to 15 right now. That's going to bring us some cooler wind, some cooler air for the rest of today, but also drier air starting to drop into the 70% range in the northern counties, but that'll be down to the 30% range by this afternoon. So that means if you're sending your kiddos out the door this morning, it'll be sunny today. So grab the sunglasses, but it'll also be a little warm, and we'll have all those details next.
President Donald Trump says that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan. Trump posted on his Truth Social account that with the support of both Israel and Hamas, all hostages would be released, quote, very soon, adding that Israel would withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line in the first step toward peace. Trump emphasized that all parties in the agreement would be treated fairly. We'll have more on this story later on Sunrise. A sixth vote to end the government shutdown failed to pass the Senate. The Senate rejected the Democrats' alternative short-term government spending bill along party lines, 47-52, with all Democrats voting for the measure and all Republicans voting against it. The measure needed 60 votes to advance. The Senate also rejected a House-passed short-term spending bill. That bill would reopen the government through November 21st at current funding levels. A new legal battle is brewing. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio shares the pushback against the Trump administration's orders to deploy National Guard troops as hundreds of protesters marched in Chicago overnight.
This morning, 500 National Guard troops are on the ground in the Chicago area, tasked with protecting federal facilities on the order of President Trump. It comes despite fierce opposition from local leaders and residents who took to the streets in protest overnight.
I can't believe I have to say troop movements in a city in the United States, but that is what we're talking about.
Illinois' governor, attorney general, and Chicago's mayor have all called Trump's move unconstitutional. Trump taking to social media in response, writing, quote, Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also. The governor firing back.
He's demented, literally, unhinged. And this is somebody who's so insecure that he lashes out pretending that he can come arrest people for no reason at all.
One judge who will weigh in on the legality of the Chicago deployment later today, telling the administration earlier this week, if I was the government, I would strongly consider taking a pause on this. Despite the warning, Trump pushed ahead with the deployment and threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, which was last used during the LA riots in the 90s.
If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that.
For now, the Guardsmen are expected to provide additional security at the Broadview ICE Processing Center, where alleged inhumane conditions have sparked protest. And Trump has also tried to deploy guardsmen in Portland against Oregon's wishes. Later today, judges there and in Illinois are expected to decide if the troops can stay. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
California has become the first state to legally define ultra-processed foods and ultimately ban them from being served to school children. Governor Gavin Newsom signed the Real Food Healthy Kids Act into law Wednesday. The state legislature passed the first of its kind bill last month. It defines ultra-processed foods as that which may contain ingredients such as high amounts of saturated fat, sodium, added sugar, as well as certain additives. The Victoria City Council met last night and discussed public safety, the budget, and community programs. The main topic was the firefighters' push for civil service and collective bargaining. In April, the Victoria Firefighters Association petitioned to adopt Texas laws for clear rules on hiring, promotions, and discipline. Collective bargaining would allow firefighters to negotiate directly with the city on pay, benefits, and working conditions, giving them a stronger voice. A presentation outlined how these changes could impact city and fire department operations, but voters will decide on November 4th whether the measures proceed. Protests continued at a Portland ICE facility on Wednesday. In a ruling issued Wednesday afternoon, a panel of federal appeals court judges stayed an order barring President Trump from bringing 200 Oregon National Guard troops under federal control and sending them into Portland. A second order bars any federalized Guard members, whether from Oregon or another state, from being deployed in Oregon. That order remains in place. Former FBI Director James Comey pled not guilty to federal charges Wednesday morning. Comey was arraigned on charges of making a false statement to Congress and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. He waived the reading of the indictment and requested a jury trial, which is now set for January 5th. The charges were brought against Comey after a public campaign by the president to prosecute him. The Trump administration accuses Comey of lying to Congress and about having an authorized third party to speak anonymously to the media about an FBI investigation. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's take a look. It is 6:38 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. Victoria County's Republican chair is focused on a key issue for Bloomington voters.
After 2 years, Israel and Hamas take a major step towards peace. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details and how the families of the hostages are reacting this morning.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say today it's still going to be a little bit warm out there. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday. Well, y'all get excited for the weekend because it's right around the corner, but more importantly, get excited because we're looking for some lovely cool mornings coming our way real soon. We'll look at that in just a second, I promise, because a lot of y'all probably still wondering what's happening with the rain out there, because looking at your radar, still nothing happening in the inland counties, but we do have a couple showers happening over the Gulf waters right now, and it's kind of trotting along right adjacent to the shoreline. We're talking like right along the shoreline, y'all. Just some 2-3 miles southeast of Sargent and Matagorda. But you can see nothing happening over the land right now, and I think it's going to be just like that for the rest of the day. Maybe a couple showers over the waters today with our dry northerly wind blowing in, gusting at 20 miles an hour at times. That's going to be bringing us some clear skies, meaning it's going to be sunny. So grab your sunglasses if you're headed out the door, I'm thinking. Here's noontime on your future tracker. Looking pretty sunny if you ask me. Here's the afternoon time, 3 p.m. right here. Looking mostly sunny, a few passing clouds starting to form. And by 6 p.m. we'll be looking pretty clear again all the way through overnight tonight and all the way through Sunday and next week. We're going to be looking real sunny. And that's going to heat us up to about 92 in Victoria. Looking at your almanac, that's 6 degrees above where we're supposed to be this time of year. And everyone else will be looking about the same. Low 90s today, maybe mid 90s in our western counties. Low temperatures under the clear skies will drop to the mid and upper 60s, and they'll drop even further on Saturday morning to the low 60s, maybe upper 50s in our northern counties. So y'all get excited because an even bigger front is on the way soon. We'll look at that in the tropics next.
We officially kick off Week 7 of high school football, where Victoria East tonight is hosting district opponent San Antonio MacArthur at Bryant Memorial Stadium, and kickoff will be at 7 p.m. as East search for their first win of the season. The Titans aren't just looking to kind of get their first win. They're just looking to get a complete game out, again, their offense, defense, and special teams, because they're facing, again, for the Titans, they're 0-2 right now in district, and they're hoping their quarterback Xavier Valdez can help spark the offense there, because they got kind of a dynamic running duo with Brayshawn Stafford and Dedrick Callis, who was the starting quarterback to begin the season for East, then officially moved over to running back there from Coach John Ford. Now from MacArthur, they're also looking for their first win tonight. 0-2 right now there in district play there for MacArthur as well. So this is Victoria East homecoming night. There's expected to be a lot of fans here at Memorial Stadium there later tonight. And for East, can they get that big time win? Maybe change their season. Maybe see if they can get to the playoffs from their district. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can stream our daily newscast and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. A major breakthrough in the Middle East. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio explains what's included in the first phase of the peace deal between Israel and Hamas.
This morning, a major step towards ending the war in Gaza after Israel and Hamas agreed to the first phase of a peace plan.
The world has come together around this deal, and that's something I would say that without that wouldn't happen.
President Trump saying the deal means all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line. Relatives of the hostages speaking to the president overnight after hearing their loved ones would soon be released.
You just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu saying, "I thank President Trump and his team from the bottom of my heart for their commitment to this sacred mission of freeing our hostages." Hamas releasing a statement saying that it will not abandon our people's national rights until freedom, independence, and self-determination are achieved. In the streets of Tel Aviv overnight, families seen popping champagne and celebrating. However, experts warn major hurdles remain ahead. Netanyahu has said that Israel won't end the war unless Hamas disarms, a condition Hamas has firmly rejected. Neither side has mentioned disarmament since peace talks began.
I would personally venture out to say that the war is far from over and that we don't know what happens after this phase is over.
Experts say that even if the agreement does lead to a ceasefire, rebuilding Gaza may be an even greater challenge. In the meantime, much needed humanitarian aid will now be allowed into Gaza. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Victoria County's Republican chair is zeroing in on an important issue for Bloomington voters, a possible sales tax increase. There's a proposition on the ballot asking if the city should adopt a 1.5% sales and use tax. Bill Posey points out that since Bloomington was incorporated just last election, it now has bigger responsibilities, like fixing and maintaining streets. He also says the city needs more funding to run smoothly and serve residents better. No matter your political party, Posey says it's important for Bloomington residents to get out and vote on this item.
It's a nonpartisan issue to either support the city or not support the city. The tax rate will go up, but you desperately need that money. The city needs that money to fulfill their incorporation and make things happen. So, you know, the voters just have to decide what's going on with that thing and vote yes or no.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th, with early voting from October 20th through the 31st. And here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca Wave. Memorial Medical Center receives a new tool to help grieving parents find closure after fetal and infant death. Plus, a family honors the memory of a brother through a football scholarship. You can read these stories and more by going to theportlavacawave.com. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here at 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, we hear from the Girl Scouts of South Texas. We'll be right back.
Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you saw what I was talking about. Our rain chances are not going to be very nice to us over the next several days. We're looking slim to none in that department at 10% for both Tuesday next week and also your Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day Monday. So 10%, maybe just a couple showers, all thanks to the southeasterly winds that return flow from the Gulf will bring back the humidity. But you did hear me talk about another cold front that's coming our way, and it'll be stronger than this one. What's that about? We'll look at that in just a second, because coming our way over the next few days, you can actually see what's going to be bringing us our sunshine. You see, notice how the motion of the rain forming is clockwise like this. That's because high pressure is sitting right above our heads. We're talking like right here in South Texas, and that's going to be bringing some sinking air for our skies, bringing out the sunshine, and not too much in terms of rain, but a lot of rain for the desert of Arizona, because they have Hurricane Priscilla that will be making landfall real soon. We don't need to worry about that. But you can actually see on satellite what I was talking about. Here's high pressure spinning clockwise, but if we zoom out, and we're talking way out west over the Asian continent. Here's China, here's Japan, here's Russia. You see this big old line of clouds right here? This is the cold front that we're going to be tracking that'll be here sometime between October 18th and the 25th. Write that down. 18th to 25th, we're going to be looking at highs dropping to, I'm thinking, the 70s. And the tropics, we're still looking nice out there. Jerry's going to go way out into the deep Atlantic. Don't need to worry about that, but we're still watching because the water is very warm. And we're going to look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
I'm now joined by Jessica DeLeon from Corpus Christi, representing the Girl Scouts of South Texas. Welcome, Jessica.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, no, it's great to have you. I did get to speak with some local Girl Scouts, and we did a little taste test of the newest cookie flavor, the Exploramores.
Yes, it's our brand new cookie that we're coming out with at the start of cookie season in January. Yeah. And we're really excited about this one. So it's actually pretty unusual because it's Rocky Road ice cream inspired.
It's so, but I feel like I'm gonna just take one out.
No, you're good.
It's too hard to be around these cookies and not try one.
I don't blame you, girl.
Are these like the most Oreo-like cookie Girl Scouts has had? It has the creamy in between.
I would say so, and a lot of the people that have reviewed this so far have pretty much said the same thing. It's like a really, really chocolatey Oreo, and it has that filling inside. And I'm personally a sweet tooth, so I really like it, and I know our girls are really going to like it too as well.
And the consistency, it's a little bit creamier than the Oreo.
Yes. So it's very unique.
So good.
You're definitely going to have to buy a box from one of our local girls.
Definitely. It's just a perfect flavor, but you don't want to hear me eating. So talk to us about what we need to know this upcoming cookie season, and is it recruitment time for the Girl Scouts?
Yes. So we're actually in our fall recruitment season. So we typically like to start the recruitment season at the start of the school year because parents are looking for different activities to join. And what I really enjoy about Girl Scouts is most of the time people when they think about Girl Scouts, they think about these yummy cookies. But actually, within the Girl Scout cookie program, they get to learn life skills, entrepreneurship, customer service. So many of our girls start the cookie program as young as our Daisy level, which is in kindergarten. So they start all this money management skills and everything. It really is an amazing program that can take them on to whenever they get into the adult world, they will already have these skills aligned.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica.
You're welcome.
And coming up, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more news to know before you go. A month-long search for the only Louisiana inmate still on the run after an audacious May jailbreak ended Wednesday when authorities say they found him hiding in a crawl space beneath an Atlanta home, bringing the last of the 10 escapees into custody. Derek Groves, 28, was convicted of murder and faces a possible life sentence. And that's before the inmates escaped through a hole behind a toilet in a New Orleans jail. A woman died Monday after riding the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland in California. She's described as a park guest in her 60s. Security workers administered CPR when she was found unresponsive. No cause of death has been determined. Anaheim Fire and Rescue says she appears to have died from a medical episode unrelated to the ride. The Haunted Mansion opened again shortly after the incident. Rocker Gene Simmons is recovering at home after a traffic accident Tuesday. The KISS co-founder and bassist hit a parked car in Malibu. He reportedly lost consciousness just before the crash and veered across several lanes. The 76-year-old's wife, Shannon Tweed Simmons, said he blacked out because he was on new medication and became dehydrated. A local county commissioner is hoping to keep serving the community. Precinct 2 Commissioner Jason Ort has announced he is running for re-election in Victoria County. Ort points to several accomplishments, including his resurfacing of over 25 miles of county roads and kicking off the North Side Road project with the city of Victoria. A Stroman High and UH Victoria grad, he currently leads Vitality Court Assisted Living and stays active on several local boards. He says infrastructure and smart financial planning will stay top priorities if he's re-elected. And part of a road in Victoria County will be closing temporarily. The stretch of Old Highway Road between Midway and Menatre roads will be shut down from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Friday for pipe replacements and road repairs. There's also a chance crews may need to close it again on Monday, depending on how work progresses. Drivers are asked to plan ahead, take alternative routes, and use extra caution around the work zone while these drainage improvements are underway. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a final look at our forecast with Parker. How's that sunrise looking?
Well, as usual, Carolina, it's looking nice and pretty. Once again this morning, we got all kinds of colors out there on your screen in the sky. We got some pink, we got some purple, we got some blue. Get out there and take a picture of that pretty sunrise. And if you look really closely on today's sunrise, you see this one lone cloud out of the rest of the clear sky. That right there is that one shower that is happening over the Gulf this morning. We'll look at that radar after this, because we're starting out the day 72 in Victoria. Dew point still 2 degrees off at 70, bringing us the high 93% humidity, which I promise you will be plummeting this afternoon down to about 30% with a cool front blowing through the entirety of the day. But like I was saying, here's that shower on radar that I was just showing you. I was looking southeast on the camera. Here's that one shower right here, just over the waters. Nothing happening in the inland over land just yet, but I think the radar is going to be looking just like that for the entire day today. Not too much in terms of rain, more so sunshine today. Heating us up to 92 in Port Lavaca. Same thing in Victoria today, 92 as well, upper 80s at noon, and a little bit warmer in Cuero. I'm thinking 93 today, but get used to that forecast because we're going to be just like that for the next several days with highs in the low 90s, but lows will be graciously in the 60s.
Thank you for joining us. Please join Shauna, Dawn, McClovey, and Max tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great third.